Okay, so I know it's been a while since we talked about One Piece over here on the channel, but it's been for a good amount of reasons, and with each and every chapter to come out since the start of the raid of Onigashima, it's been super hard for me to wrap around my common consensus about where I personally think One Piece is heading. And I know in my last video talking about a couple things One Piece related, my thoughts and predictions on where I think the direction of One Piece is heading post Wano, but since then a lot of time has passed, and with chapters like 1000 and onward, plenty of things have been circulating around the thought of particularly what's currently going down in Wano right now. And so since now we're at a time where it seems like all is lost, I thought why not talk about what I think about the status quo of Wano and what most certainly what I think will happen right before we set sail to the next arc. But before we get into that, if you are new to the channel and or if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you hit that sub button and turn on the bell notifications, that way you never miss out on another new video. Also, drop a like on today's video and a comment on today's video if you're ready to hear what I think about the current state of One Piece. So usually I don't keep a big track record on what I think is going to happen. That usually just isolates with each and every chapter that comes out. But since we hit the rooftop on Onigashima, and with chapter 1000 being such a bigger number on the series as a whole, I thought I felt a change I never really could anticipate from a manga like One Piece. Obviously, I don't think this is something maybe everyone else felt, but I definitely think to some people we felt a sudden shift in what has been going on within the story so far. And I'm not typically the type of person to go into crazy analytical detail about these sort of things, but if you know what I'm trying to say, you can probably get where I'm coming from. And it's just as simple as that. Regardless though, for me personally, I've been pretty much anticipating everything that has been happening right now since Punk Hazard, as for most of you as well. And to finally get this sort of reality where it seems as if this is just not real in a way is ironic, but it's just unreal. I mean, to some extent at first glance, it just seems like characters such as Law, Kid, and especially Killer just aren't cut out for something like this, but clearly that's just not the case. And we've seen the Alliance already stand toe-to-toe with both Kaido and Big Mom, so much at an equal but yet disadvantage. But with these recent couple of chapters, it's proven so that maybe it's just not the right time for these matchups to happen. And call me crazy, but it seems like with every single new chapter that points its way towards us, it feels as if my opinions on if the raid is going to fail or not keeps shifting. Not to mention, but I think there are a few things that I feel sparsely pointed out but are narrow in a way. It's hard to put the puzzle pieces together on what Oda's really trying to make out of the situation on Onigashima. With CP0 being there and some info regarding Oden's journal, it's like Oda is putting us in this position where he's working in the background on something really huge, but to us, the readers, it just shouldn't be the main focus. Not to mention the information where Kaido was recently talking about Joy Boy towards Luffy. Never would I have ever thought Kaido, out of all people, well, actually, never mind, I take that back. Kaido would of course know of him, but to me, it just was so surprising that he would even mention him within this recent chapter. Like, I can see it all coming together, but it's just a matter of time till something drastic is put into play that shocks the entire One Piece community. And just to touch up on some things, like I said earlier, it feels like things are changing and or at least taking a turn for the better or the worst. Who really knows other than Oda? But we all know death is typically something that doesn't play a role within the One Piece world, usually, and I say that in spite of the fact that I honestly don't know if what we are looking at currently in Wano is something true to death. I think if Oda wants to go down this route of finally stepping into more of the serious tone, as with this raid on Onigashima being a stepping stone into the final acts/arcs within One Piece. But I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if everything we're facing now is a complete lie to hold up our main characters to do what's necessary to take down the few Yonkos at task. Just for every character you thought was going to die to be entirely fine by the end of the arc. It happens a lot, so I wouldn't be mad at Oda, but a time for a change wouldn't be something I'm against in the slightest, and it could potentially be the starting point to changing everything after Wano. As it goes for matchups though, and just everything that has led to this point on Onigashima, it seems that this is clearly a fake out. We've seen Oda being comfortable with this many times in the series already, and it just seems like things are getting started. All there needs to be is a rebound from Luffy and a quick recovery, and boom, the hero saves the day in Wano. Is what I would have said, but like I said earlier, Wano is something I'm unsure about, especially for the future of One Piece. I myself at this point in time have zero clue if this arc is truly going to end in a victory for the Straw Hats like it always does. For some reason, like I keep mentioning, I get this feeling that things are changing, and with Wano being that middle point, it could be a transition where we could see the Straw Hats and the Alliance failing to succeed their mission on Onigashima and the raid potentially failing in despair. So you might be wondering then, what are my predictions for the end of Wano? Well, to tell you the truth, I don't really know, and I could go on for days on end telling you how I would want it to end, but that just wouldn't be the realistic answer. From what I know and from what I've seen so far, I see the arc of Wano ending in a clear divinity of two possibilities. One being that of course the raid on Onigashima is a success and the gates of Wano finally open after so very long, and characters like Momonosuke and Yamato get to seek out their dreams, and probably either one joining or at the very least affiliating themselves with the Straw Hat Pirates. And two, which has honestly left me with some questions as of recently, the raid fails and we move forward with this, which leads into the next arc. Now, I thought for a while on how this could be a possible cause, but maybe Oda decides that now isn't the time for Luffy and the Alliance to be able to defeat Kaido and Big Mom just yet. But instead the raid fails and Kaido loses interest in Wano and sets off for bigger things, leaving Wano free, but the raid still fails and the chase for the Straw Hats begins along with Big Mom against them. It would be a weird scenario, it just isn't entirely out there because this isn't just your typical One Piece antagonist. This is literally two of the strongest pirates in the world, both being Yonko's, Kaido and Big Mom. Like, if Oda hadn't made it hard enough already. But this got me thinking, and I think it would be a wonderful way to lead into Elbaf. It all really just depends on the raid if it fails or not, and there are a plethora of things in One Piece, especially in Wano, that pique my interest, but to a certain extent. And I think I'm just ready to see what's next, cause just depending on how Wano wants to end, it could potentially change the entirety of One Piece moving forward. And because of that, I just wonder where One Piece is going to be heading. I know that Wano is in an arc to specialize on a massive amount of growth for not only our main character, but the many other Straw Hats and people working alongside them. It's something that is supposed to practice the balance of symbolism and meaning throughout the story. So to me, it doesn't really matter if the raid succeeds or if it fails. It just depends on the pieces Oda decides to place throughout the future of this series. And future Straw Hats, well, I'm all for Team Yamato, and though I do think it's a pretty realistic cause, I wouldn't doubt it pick like Carrot and or Momonosuke. But all in all, One Piece at this current moment is in for a huge info dump sooner or later, and I wouldn't be surprised if something big, as in a big power boost for the Alliance, comes within the near future, because from the looks of it as of right now, things are just getting started in the Battle of Onigashima, and Luffy will be back and he will be ready to take down Kaido, at least in the eyes of himself and the others around him. Furthermore, if the raid succeeds, I hope to see some big damage coming in from Zoro as well as Sanji, and a Zoro backstory seems pretty likely as well. And if it doesn't, then it would definitely be a change of pace in Sabaody, and that would honestly be great to see, especially an outcome too probable even for Luffy. Either way, I expect something great, and with the pacing and hints Oda keeps delivering at us, it honestly just stacking up to be one of, if not the best arc post time skip in One Piece. But it all just depends on what lies ahead of the current state of One Piece. But as always everyone, to those of you who made it to the end of the video, I hope you all did enjoy the video. This is a video I've been wanting to go back and make for a while now, so I'm excited to finally come back to my favorite series of all time and talk about the greatness that is Wano. But anyways, make sure before you click off the video to drop a comment on your thoughts on the video, and let me know your overall thoughts about the entire Wano arc so far in One Piece. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join the Discord if y'all not already. We got the Discord up and running again, so join the Discord in the link in the description box down below. And with that everyone, my Twitter is @AnimeAugie, and I'll make sure to catch each and every single one of you guys in the next video. Peace.